the league group at the minute.
Jim, would you be surprised if there were retirements now? I would imagine you'd
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked. I don't think so. No. The boys are in a good place. As I said earlier, they want to achieve, and they've got a league medal now. And believe it or not, that Division 2 league medal means a hell of a lot to our players. To win something in Croke Park at national level means a hell of a lot. To have that, they have 2 Ulster Championships and they've been All Ireland now. And they're even the oldest players that we have in the squad. They still have a good few years left in them, and they're all positive and they all want to get the most out of their career. So I wouldn't expect any.
That perception, Jim, you talked about Party Boys, was that something that you wanted to wipe the slate clean on as soon as you came into the job?
Well, it probably was, to be honest with you. I suppose the very first meeting that we had was the 6th of November 2010, and we had a meeting, and we had a very, very good meeting with the players. And I asked them. I remember there was an article in the Irish News called "The State of the Nation," and I opened up the article. It was a 2-page spread, and we were 19th. We were 19th in the country, rated 19th in the country, and I just opened up the 2-page spread and I held it up to them and I said to the boys, "Why? I want your opinion as to why you feel we're 19th in the country." And that was a very sort of poignant moment, I feel, for the group. There was a lot of honesty came out of that. They broke them into groups of 6 and 7, and they spent 20 minutes on it. They came back in, and there was a lot of truths, home truths came back, they identified the fact that they weren't fully honest with themselves. That they didn't do the hard graft. They were cutting corners on gym work. They weren't putting in the hard yards, and it was a great moment, I felt, and it came from themselves, which was very important as well. And then after lunch, we had them for a few hours that day. It was our very first time to get together, and after lunch, then we done another session in relation to how do we get to number 1. And they sat down and they talked about what it was going to take, how they were going to live their life, training, their attitude towards training, and all them things came into play. And here we are 2 years later, and we are number 1, and they've done that. Not the management, but they've done that, because if they didn't move and change and identify where they were at and what they wanted to do with their own football career, we wouldn't have got from 19th to number 1. So that's, to me, that's a fantastic journey to be part of, and to see development with the players and moving forward over a 2-year period from 19 to number 1 is very, very satisfying.
Jim, the other thing as well,
Downings, Rossipana, Golf Club and Downings.
Jim, the other thing about it, Mickey Hart brought out a book after he won the All-Ireland in 03. Is there something that you would be interested in doing, considering some of the things that have been written?
No, not at the moment. No. I think I'm happy with where we're at, and I'm happy with what the boys have achieved. And as I said earlier, I feel in a very privileged position to be in a situation where you can exact a wee bit of positivity in people's minds, and you can see yourselves, the atmosphere in the hotel this morning, and you can, we can only imagine what it's going to be like in Donegal when we get home in the night, and to be a part of that. And I said yesterday in the press conference, I was in the hospital during the week, and people that were very, very, very ill, the lift that they were getting out of football was incredible, and to be a part of that whole process and seeing the spirits of a county being lifted as a result of football, it's absolutely fantastic. And the players are aware of that as well, and they're aware that what they do makes a difference to other people's lives, and that's why our players have a fantastic connection with the supporters and vice versa. So it's.
Have you had a chance to speak to your father since yesterday?
No, I haven't. But I'll be talking to him. Very, very soon.
Jim, what time do you expect to get into Donegal town?
We're expecting to be home for about 9 o'clock.
And then that will be around
that will be well. You know yourself.
And one of Pedigo about half an hour before that.
Probably, yeah.
There's no chance you'd be trained down to
well, that's probably for other people to decide. But no, Pedigo's been very good to us. When we won the under-21s in 2010, on the way home they had a homecoming for us, which took us by surprise, and we have 7 or 8 of them lads in the thing, and that meant a lot to us. And when we won Ulster last year, the atmosphere in Pedigo was absolutely staggering. The excitement and the hunger for the Angus-Celt coming into the town was staggering. So we're looking forward to that first stop, and then obviously Donegal town and everything that brings.
Very hard decision to drop them last year. There's a lot of speculation at the time that they split the squad and affecting the team morale. How can you show that that isn't it? How do you manage that?
Well, I didn't know, to be honest with you. The bottom line was we had a squad, and we had group ethics, and we had team ethics, and everybody was conforming to that. And you know, you have to manage situations as you see them, and that was the way it unfolded. And you know, the boys are very focused. Everybody knew the ground rules, and everybody worked towards them, and everybody knew the situation when it unfolded, and that was all there was to it really. And the boys themselves hadn't got a problem with it because they knew themselves that we had talked about things, and we had discussed things, and we had worked through things, and when it happened it was very, very disappointing, but it was, you know, these things happen, you know, things happen, something might happen this year again, and next year. That's all part of the process, you know. It's never straightforward. There's backward steps and forward steps, and you just have to manage it and deal with it and try and stay true to your own values. And everything that went on around that was based on team goals and team ethic, and the unit, and the team was number one, and nothing can get in the way of the team, including the manager. Nothing can get in the way of the team, and that's very, very important. And when you lose that, then the whole thing can disintegrate very quickly, and that's. No, I mean, myself as manager and the players themselves as well, they knew the situation, and they knew the ground rules, and they knew what everybody had committed to and everybody had focused on. So it was very, very simple, to be honest with you, from a management point of view and from the point of view of the players. It wasn't as if it was a shot from the blue. It was something we had spoke about before that. We preempted it, if you like, you know, and once it happened, then you just have to deal with it, and that's part of management.
Last weekend we went to Cork and your team played with the wedding as well. Did you do anything special there?
No, we done nothing special in the lead into the final at all. It was the same old for us, you know. We just tried to keep a goal-orientated focus on the game. We tried to look at the match the same as way we looked at every match. We never spoke about the All-Ireland final. We just spoke about the opposition, and we spoke about the game. We spoke about ourselves, where we're at, where the opposition are at, what we need to try and do to get at the opposition, and how we can best get the most out of our own players, same as we do for every other game. And we just focused on that, worked towards that, and approached the game in that manner, same as every other game in the last 2 years.
Jim, can I just ask, Eugene McGee's moving some changes to the game.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to see change in the game here?
No, not really, no. And I suppose there's a lot made of that. I was listening to the radio one day coming home from one of the qualifiers, and I think it was Declan Darcy was on the radio, and he made a comment that, you know, that the review was set up on foot of our game against Dublin last year, which was a wee bit staggering, to be honest with you. You know, that a whole consultation process at the national level can be based on one game of football. We had a game plan. We felt that we were early in our development, and we weren't ready to take Dublin on. We went out with a certain game plan to try and counteract that. We felt it was the best way of winning the match, you know, and to get a review set up on foot of it was, you know, it's a bit.
It's a backhand compliment.
Well, it's a bit. It was a wee bit, I suppose, over the top. Being honest with you, the reaction to it. But whatever the rules changes are, we're coaches, and we'll coach to the new changes. Whatever the changes are, we'll coach to them, and we'll try and work around it. So I've no opinion on what I would like to see and what I wouldn't like to see. We just coach the rules. That's what we done last year, regardless of all the criticism. We just coach to the rules, and we try to get the best out of our players, and based on coaching to the rules. And if there's changes, we'll have to adapt to the change and coach their rules. And
Must get in there here now. Jim.
Pardon? I think it's a good championship, you know, but I have my own opinions on things, to be honest with you.